Finally, on this panel, we turn to Donald Gips, nominated to be Ambassador to South Africa.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman and members of the committee, I'm honored to appear before you today as President Obama's nominee to serve as the next United States Ambassador to the Republic of South Africa. I'm humbled by the trust placed in me by the President and the Secretary of State. I'd like to recognize my many longtime friends and colleagues who are in the back, my brother Rob, my in-laws Kathy and Charles Berry, and thank in particular my three sons, Sam, Peter, and Ben, and my wife Liz, who's dedicated her career to improving the lives of children, most recently running a nonprofit focused on educating orphans in Kenya. South Africa's historic struggle inspired our President's first political speech as a college student and demonstrated to me, also a college student, that people united in the pursuit of justice can transform a nation. When I visited South Africa over a decade ago, I fell in love with its people, its story, and its beauty. It would be a great honor to represent the United States as it supports South Africa's efforts to strengthen its multiracial democracy. If confirmed, I would bring to this role significant public and private sector leadership experience. As Senator Udall described, my 2 White House tours gave me a chance to participate in policy making at the highest level. At the FCC, I successfully negotiated major international treaties. In the private sector, I spent a decade heading corporate development at Level 3 Communications and 4 years at McKinsey advising international businesses. If confirmed, I will draw on these varied experiences to move the relationship between our 2 countries to a higher level, bringing together all sectors of American and South African society. Both nations have recently elected new leaders in remarkable demonstrations of democracy at work. This offers us an opportunity for a new beginning in our relationship, a chance to build a genuine partnership rooted in the fact that it is in the strategic interest of the United States for South Africa to succeed in its transformation from apartheid to a true democracy where all South Africans share in the nation's prosperity. Blessed with abundant natural resources and intellectual capital, host to the 2010 World Cup, South Africa is the economic engine for Africa and is critically linked to the continent's stability. South Africa, however, faces significant problems, including unemployment of over 20%, inadequate education, an HIV/AIDS epidemic, high crime rates, and significant income disparity. Left unaddressed, these forces could pose a challenge to the country's stability. President Zuma has been forthright in recognizing these issues and setting his government on a course to address them. Strategically leveraging America's public and private sector capabilities will allow us to be a strong partner to South Africa as it tackles these persistent challenges. If confirmed, major priorities for me would be maximizing the effectiveness of the $550 million we provide to South Africa through the PEPFAR program and providing targeted assistance to improve the police and the judicial systems. Equally important would be assisting the South African government to reduce unemployment by improving its education system, working with NGOs, the Peace Corps volunteers in South Africa, and direct foreign assistance to bolster the government's efforts to reform its education system. Mr. Chairman, committee members, should I be confirmed, I look forward to working with this committee to make our relationship with South Africa significantly more productive than it is today. When our 2 great nations pursue common goals, the potential to achieve great things for our citizens is unlimited. Thank you for this opportunity to address you today and for considering my nomination. I look forward to answering your questions.
Thank you, Mr. Gips. Thanks all for your opening statements. And now we'll begin 7-minute rounds. We discussed in our meeting, I've been concerned that the leadership in South Africa sometimes seems like they're drifting away from Mandela's vision of a human rights-guided foreign policy. How can we encourage and help the new Zuma administration reclaim Mandela's vision and play a more active role in pressing for human rights and accountability in Sudan and Zimbabwe and elsewhere?
Thank you for that question, Senator. It's a very significant challenge. I think the new administration, from all of its early signs, is heading in that direction. I think the more we can work cooperatively with them to find opportunities where we have shared interests and push that forward, we will have a significant opportunity to leverage our involvement with them to improve relations in many of these troubled places. I think in the recent bilat that the President had with President Zuma, these topics came up and there was a very positive tone to the conversation, and I think a renewed openness to work towards that goal.
Good. As you know, a New York Times article yesterday noted that South Africa continues to lag behind in a number of HIV/AIDS policies, and that for years it delayed the provision of antiretroviral medicines to treat AIDS, which likely contributed to hundreds of thousands of premature deaths. How do you think Zuma's administration will change South Africa's approach to addressing the HIV/AIDS epidemic, including its impact on economic growth and investment? And what role will you play, if confirmed as ambassador, to ensure this issue is prioritized throughout multiple sectors and not solely as a public health issue?
Excellent question, Senator. I think, again, President Zuma is committed to this goal. Every speech he's given since coming into office, and every speech his health minister has given, has shown that there's a renewed vigor on the part of the South African government to pursuing solving this problem, addressing not just the treatment issue, but also the prevention issue. If I am confirmed as ambassador, one of my major priorities would be looking to make sure that we are maximizing the $550 million that we are putting into the PEPFAR program. I think so far, from what I understand, we're doing a very good job on the treatment side, but our prevention efforts have not yielded the type of results that we would like to see. So I would like to focus my efforts on making sure that we start working on the prevention side with the South African government, and as you say, with all sectors of South African society, because it's going to take all sectors to solve this problem. Some of the leadership in South Africa has actually come from the private sector on this issue, instituting programs for treating their workers. Trying to find ways to bring all people together around this issue is the only way it will be addressed.